The human exploration ship Aurora drifted silently through the vast emptiness of space. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, like scattered diamonds on a black velvet cloth. The ship's crew had been traveling for months through a sector that was rarely charted. Most civilizations had avoided this part of the galaxy, calling it forgotten or cursed. Humans, however, had always been curious. Where others saw danger or emptiness, they saw mystery waiting to be explored. Commander Lena Arval sat in the bridge's command chair, her eyes scanning the glowing screens in front of her. She was a calm and thoughtful leader, known for her careful decisions and curiosity that often pushed the Aurora into places others avoided. Beside her, Lieutenant Kieran Vale adjusted the ship's sensors, his fingers flying across the controls with practiced ease. The soft hum of the engines filled the quiet bridge, broken only by the occasional beep of the monitors. "Commander," Kieran said, his voice filled with surprise. "I'm picking up a large object ahead. It's unlike anything we've scanned before." Lena leaned forward, narrowing her eyes. "Give me the coordinates." Kieran entered the data, and a three-dimensional holographic display appeared above the console. There, floating in the blackness of space, was a massive vessel. Its surface was dark and metallic, weathered with age, and covered with strange markings. Despite its enormous size, the ship seemed almost lifeless. There was no movement, no energy emissions that would suggest a crew, and yet, its outline suggested it had once been a ship of incredible importance. The bridge fell silent for a moment as the crew stared at the mysterious vessel. It was so large that even the Aurora, a ship designed for long-range exploration, looked small in comparison. Its shape was elegant but unfamiliar, with curves and angles that no human design had ever attempted. Some sections glowed faintly, as if the ship's system still held a pulse of life, waiting patiently for someone to awaken them. "Commander, it's moving," Kieran said softly, almost as if he were afraid to speak too loudly. The ancient vessel, with no apparent captain or crew, was slowly turning toward the Aurora. The hum of its engines was barely noticeable, but it was enough to change its orientation in space. Lena's heart beat faster. This was unprecedented. Ships without crews were not unheard of, but they usually drifted aimlessly, abandoned and forgotten. They did not actively turn to face approaching vessels. Something about this one was different. "Alert the crew," she ordered. "Everyone needs to prepare for a close approach, but maintain distance. I don't want us to take any risks. We don't know what we are dealing with." The crew moved quickly, their training evident in every action. Sensors were recalibrated, drones were readied, and communications were checked. Humans were not afraid of space. They respected it. Every movement was careful, deliberate, and thoughtful. As the Aurora edged closer, the ancient vessel seemed to respond. Its faint glow brightened slightly, tracing lines along its surface like veins of light, awakening after centuries of sleep. The ship's turn was slow but deliberate, as though it were observing the humans, judging them. "Commander," said Ensign Mira, the youngest member of the crew. "The ship, it's huge. It's not just a relic. It's alive in some way. The way it moves, it feels almost intelligent." Lena nodded. "Yes, I see it too. But we must stay calm, observe, analyze. We need to understand it before we make any decisions." The decision was made to send a small drone toward the vessel. It was lightweight, equipped with cameras, sensors, and tools to analyze unknown technology. The drone detached from the Aurora, moving carefully through the void, its lights shining faintly as it approached the ancient ship. The crew watched the live feed, holding their breath. The closer the drone got, the more intricate the surface of the vessel appeared. It was covered in symbols that seemed almost organic, flowing across the hull like patterns on a living creature. The material shimmered faintly, not like any metal known to human science. "Commander, I think these symbols are some form of communication," Kieran said. "They respond when we approach. Look at the drone's feed. The lights on the ship change when the drone gets closer." Lena's eyes widened. "It's not just responding randomly. It's aware of our presence. This ship, It's been waiting for someone like us. The idea was both thrilling and unnerving. The humans had discovered many relics of ancient civilizations, but none that seemed aware. None that seemed to choose to engage with them. As the drone moved along the vessel's surface, it found panels that opened automatically, as if inviting the humans inside. The crew held a council, debating their next move. "We should board it," Lena said after a moment of thought. "We need to understand what it is. But carefully. No risks. Drones first. Then a small team. We observe. We record. We learn." The boarding party was selected. Lena, Kieran, Ensign Mira, and 2 other crew members would go aboard. They donned their exploration suits, checking every system carefully. The airlock opened, and the humans moved into the ancient vessel. Inside, the ship was breathtaking. Its corridors were vast, illuminated by the same soft glow seen outside. The walls shimmered, and the air was strangely breathable, though they remained in suits as a precaution. Strange symbols floated in the air like holograms, shifting gently as if acknowledging their presence. "This is incredible," Mira whispered. "It's alive. I can feel it. It's like it knows we're here, but it isn't dangerous. It's curious about us, maybe." Lena nodded. She felt it too. A sense of connection that was almost emotional. The ship had no captain, no crew, yet it was not empty. It was waiting, watching, learning. The humans continued deeper into the vessel. They found rooms filled with ancient machinery, glowing panels, and devices they could not identify. Despite their unfamiliarity, the systems seemed to respond to them. Kieran reached out and touched a panel, and a holographic display appeared, showing star maps of regions they had never seen. "Look at this," he said, awestruck. "These maps, they're not just local. They cover entire galaxies. This ship, it's a vessel of exploration, like us, but on a scale we've never imagined." Lena studied the maps. They were precise, detailed, and elegant. The technology was far beyond human capability. Yet somehow, it felt accessible. The humans had the ability to understand it, to learn from it. As they explored further, the ship began to hum more steadily. The lights pulsed, moving in patterns that seemed almost communicative. The humans realized that the vessel was not only intelligent, but responsive. It was interacting with them, testing them, learning who they were. Hours passed, though time felt strange inside the ship. The humans mapped corridors, examined devices, and recorded every detail. They found a central chamber filled with glowing panels and what looked like a control interface. The interface was not like any human console. It responded to thought, emotion, and touch in ways that were intuitive rather than mechanical. Lena placed her hand on the surface, and the panels shifted, showing more of the ship's interior and systems. A feeling of calm determination washed over her. The ship seemed to understand her intent. It wanted guidance, not control. "We are not just exploring," Lena said quietly. "We are partners. This ship, it has been waiting for humans, for curiosity, for intelligence, for someone to guide it. And maybe that someone is us." The crew moved as one, exploring further but always careful. The ancient vessel, though enormous, seemed gentle. Its systems responded with precision, offering information without overwhelming them. It was a perfect balance of mystery and clarity, inviting humans to understand without forcing them. By the time the Aurora crew returned to their own ship, they were filled with wonder. They had found not just an ancient vessel but a companion in exploration. A reminder that humanity's greatest strength was curiosity, intelligence, and the ability to connect with the unknown. As the Aurora drifted away for the night, the ancient ship turned slightly to watch them leave, its glow dimming to a soft pulse. It waited, patient and wise, for the humans to return. And the humans, filled with excitement and awe, knew that this encounter was only the beginning of a journey far beyond anything they had imagined. The crew of the Aurora could not stop thinking about the ancient vessel. Even in the quiet of their ship, the images of its glowing panels and endless corridors haunted them. The encounter had been extraordinary, unlike anything they had ever experienced. Each crew member felt a connection, as if the vessel had been waiting for humans all along. Commander Lena Arval called a meeting in the Aurora's conference room. Holographic projections of the ship floated above the table, showing the sections they had explored and the strange symbols that adorned its walls. Kieran Vale stood beside her, his eyes bright with excitement as he gestured toward the displays. "We have a decision to make," Lena began. "The ship responded to us. It allowed us inside, guided our movements, and even showed us parts of its systems. But we barely scratched the surface. If we return, we could learn more. We could understand its purpose. This is a discovery humanity has never seen before." Mira, the youngest crew member, leaned forward, her voice full of wonder. "It's amazing, Commander. The ship. It's alive in a way. It responds to us. It's like it wants us to guide it. I've never felt anything like it. We have to go back." Lena nodded slowly. "I agree, but we must be careful. We are explorers, not intruders. This ship is advanced beyond anything in human history. We proceed with curiosity, observation, and respect. That is how we will earn its trust." The next day, the Aurora carefully approached the ancient vessel once more. The ship's turn to face them was almost welcoming, as if it remembered the humans from their first encounter. The docking procedure was smooth, and the boarding party prepared to enter the vessel again. As they stepped inside, the familiar soft glow of the corridors greeted them. This time, they moved with more purpose. The crew split into teams, each focusing on a different section of the ship. Kieran and Mira took the central chamber with the control interface, while Lena and the others explored the surrounding corridors and storage areas. The central chamber was more impressive than they had remembered. The panels responded instantly to human touch and thought. Symbols shifted and rearranged themselves, forming patterns that the humans began to understand. Kieran reached out, placing his hand on a section of the interface. The panels rippled, and a holographic map of nearby star systems appeared. "These stars," Kieran whispered. "They're not on any of our charts. The ship has recorded regions of space that no human has ever seen. It's been exploring long before we existed." Mira touched another part of the interface, and a series of holographic images appeared. Planets, moons, and entire star clusters floated in the air, each one labeled with symbols that seemed almost alive. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "It's like the ship remembers everything it has ever seen. It's a library, but bigger than any library we've ever imagined." Lena observed quietly, her mind racing. This vessel was not just a relic. It was a record of knowledge, exploration, and understanding. Humans had always been explorers, curious about the unknown, but this ship had done what humans could only dream of. It had traveled farther, seen more, and recorded knowledge that could benefit all of humanity. While the central chamber drew the attention of Kieran and Mira, Lena's team discovered rooms filled with devices that defied explanation. Some of them emitted soft hums, while others displayed holographic information in a language that seemed familiar yet alien. Lena realized that the ship's technology was not entirely incomprehensible. Humans had the ability to understand it because it was designed for intelligent beings capable of reasoning, problem-solving, and curiosity. One device caught her eye, a small, spherical object that hovered in the air. When she approached it, the sphere rotated slowly and emitted a series of soft lights. Lena reached out, and the sphere responded by projecting a three-dimensional map of the ship itself. Every corridor, every room, and every hidden compartment was displayed in exquisite detail. "This is incredible," she said aloud. "The ship is showing us its structure. It wants us to know it, to understand it." The crew began to realize that the vessel was not just a passive object. It was interactive, almost sentient in its responses. The ship adapted to their presence, guiding them toward information and away from areas it considered less important. It was as if the vessel trusted humans to learn, explore, and respect its knowledge. As they moved deeper into the ship, they encountered another central chamber, even larger than the first. This one seemed to be a hub of communication and coordination. Panels displayed networks of systems, routes through star clusters, and even data on energy sources and environmental conditions. Kieran reached out, and the panels responded to his thoughts, highlighting paths and showing connections. "It's teaching us," he said. "It wants us to understand how it works. It's not just showing us maps, it's sharing knowledge. This is the most advanced intelligence we have ever encountered." 17. See no say v. End quote. Mira nodded. "It's like it knows we are capable of learning. It's giving us a chance to guide it, to use it wisely." Lena felt a sense of awe and responsibility. Humanity had always been curious, inventive, and brave. But this encounter demanded more. It demanded wisdom, patience, and collaboration. The ship was a tool, a companion, and a teacher. How humans chose to interact with it could define the future of exploration for generations. As they explored, they discovered records of past voyages. The ship had traveled to countless star systems, documenting worlds, life forms, and natural phenomena. Some of the records were holographic images, while others were streams of data that could be interpreted and understood by the humans. Each record revealed a story of discovery, showing that exploration was a universal endeavor, not limited to any one species. One particular record captured their attention. It was a planet rich in resources, with a thriving ecosystem and a stable atmosphere. The ship had visited it long ago. Observing without interfering, the humans realized that the vessel had a principle: explore, learn, record, but never harm. It was a reminder that intelligence did not require dominance. Curiosity could coexist with respect for life and balance. The more the crew learned, the more they understood the vessel's nature. It was a guide for exploration, a keeper of knowledge, and a partner for those capable of understanding it. Humans, with their curiosity, ingenuity, and empathy, fit the criteria perfectly. The vessel seemed to recognize qualities that other species might not possess: adaptability, creativity, and a desire to learn without causing harm. Hours turned into days as the humans explored the ancient vessel. They communicated constantly, sharing observations, interpretations, and ideas. The ship responded, subtly adjusting panels, opening new areas, and projecting information that was increasingly complex. It was a learning process, but one that the humans embraced eagerly. At one point, Kieran discovered a panel that responded not to touch or thought, but to emotion. When he concentrated on feelings of wonder and curiosity, the symbols on the panel shifted, forming a series of star charts that extended beyond the galaxy. The crew realized that the vessel was capable of understanding not only thought, but also the intent behind it. Humans were not just interacting with technology, they were forming a bond with intelligence itself. Lena stood quietly, observing her crew. Each of them was engaged, curious, and respectful. They had approached the ship with caution, but now they were partners in discovery. The vessel had no captain, yet it operated with purpose. Humans were becoming the guides it had been waiting for. As the day came to an end, the crew gathered in the central chamber. They reviewed the data they had collected, sharing insights and marveling at the ship's complexity. Lena spoke softly, almost to herself. "This is more than a discovery. It's an opportunity. Humanity has always reached for the stars. But now, we have a companion capable of helping us go farther than we ever imagined." Mira smiled. "It's like the ship has chosen us, not as rulers, but as friends and explorers. We are part of its story now." Lena nodded. "Yes, and we must honor that. We explore with care, we learn with humility, and we guide with wisdom. This is our responsibility." As they prepared to leave the ship for the night, the vessel's glow dimmed to a soft pulse. It seemed to respond to their presence, almost as if it understood that the humans were leaving temporarily but would return. The Aurora drifted slightly away, maintaining a safe distance while the crew rested. Yet, even in sleep, their minds were filled with wonder and anticipation. They knew that this was only the beginning. The ancient vessel had secrets yet to reveal, and humans were the key to unlocking them. With curiosity, intelligence, and respect, they could learn more than any other species could ever hope to. For the first time in generations, the humans felt that they were not merely visitors in space. They were partners with a greater intelligence, explorers in the truest sense, and stewards of knowledge that had waited centuries for the right beings to understand it. The ancient vessel, silent yet aware, watched them with a quiet glow. It had no captain, but it had chosen its guides, and humanity, in that moment, realized that exploration was not just about traveling through space, it was about understanding, connecting, and discovering in ways that could change everything. And so, as the Aurora drifted through the void, carrying its crew back to their ship for rest, the humans knew that the next day would bring more discoveries. They were ready. They were curious. They were explorers. And the ancient vessel was now theirs to learn from, guide, and journey with. The days passed quickly aboard the Aurora, as the human crew continued to explore the ancient vessel. Each day brought new discoveries, new questions, and a deeper sense of wonder. What had once been an empty, mysterious ship now felt alive in a quiet, intelligent way. It seemed to respond not only to their presence but to their intentions, as if it recognized humans as worthy guides. Commander Lena Arval walked through the central chamber, her eyes taking in the shimmering panels that covered every wall. The ship pulsed gently with a soft glow, its light reflecting in the eyes of the crew. Kieran Vale stood at one of the panels, his fingers hovering just above it, studying the information displayed. Mira floated nearby, examining a set of holographic star charts that stretched farther than any human had ever seen. "Look at this," Kieran said quietly, pointing to a region of space filled with faint star clusters. "These systems are uncharted. The ship has mapped them all, but it seems to be waiting for us to explore them. It's not just storing information. It wants us to do something with it." Lena nodded. "Yes. It's as if it knows we can take the next step. It trusts us to make the right choices. Canon Servio. Canon Servio. Canon Servio that we can take stayed. Canon Servio that noted Justrio the Conrex. Canon Servio that we can take the next step. Canon Servio the Conrex. Canon Servio the Canon Servio the..." The idea was thrilling. Humanity had always dreamed of exploring the unknown, but this vessel offered something far greater than any single expedition could achieve. It was not only a tool but a companion, capable of guiding them safely through uncharted regions of space. The crew decided to spend the day interacting with the ship's systems, trying to understand how it worked. Kieran moved through a series of panels, and the ship responded instantly, opening new sections and projecting additional data. The more the humans interacted with it, the more it revealed. Holographic images of distant worlds, maps of energy sources, and even records of natural phenomena appeared before them, each one more detailed than the last. Mira pointed to a panel displaying a small, glowing object orbiting a star. "This planet, it looks habitable. Atmosphere, water, even plant life. The ship has observed it for centuries. It hasn't visited, but it's recorded everything. We could learn so much from it." Lena smiled. "Exactly. And that's the gift of this vessel. It allows us to see possibilities, to plan, to explore responsibly. It is giving us knowledge and freedom at the same time." As the day progressed, the ship's responses became more intuitive. Panels shifted with minimal touch. Symbols moved to align with the crew's thoughts, and the vessel seemed to anticipate their questions. Lena realized that the ship was not merely a machine. It was an intelligent partner, capable of learning from humans just as humans learned from it. Kieran found a series of holographic controls that projected routes through uncharted star systems. "The ship is offering us paths," he said, not just to explore, but to navigate safely. It knows the dangers that might exist, and it is sharing its knowledge. It's guiding us. Lena placed her hand on the panel. The map expanded, revealing more systems, planets, and resources. "This is incredible," she said softly. "We are the first humans to see this. The ship has waited for someone like us, curious, capable, and responsible." The crew realized that this was more than exploration. It was partnership. The ship, though without a captain, had the capacity to act, and the humans, through their intelligence and care, were now its guides. Together, they could achieve what neither could alone. In one of the side chambers, Mira discovered a small console projecting information in a new format. The symbols shifted into images of stars moving, planets rotating, and energy flows through space. "It's showing us patterns," she said. "Not just locations, but how things interact. It's like the ship is teaching us to see the universe differently." Lena joined her, examining the projections. "It's true. The ship isn't just a repository of knowledge. It's a teacher. It is giving us the tools to understand the universe, not just observe it. And we are learning how to guide it as well." The realization filled the crew with awe. They were not merely passengers or explorers. They were partners in a process that had waited centuries to find humans. The vessel's intelligence had recognized their potential, and now it offered them a chance to collaborate on a scale never imagined before. Hours turned into days as the crew continued to explore. They mapped more sections of the ship, discovered additional chambers filled with holographic records, and even found devices that simulated environments of distant planets. Each discovery reinforced their understanding that this vessel was extraordinary. It had traveled through countless systems, recorded vast amounts of data, and yet remained dormant, waiting for the right beings to guide it. One evening, as the crew rested in their quarters, Lena reflected on what they had experienced. "This ship is teaching us more than technology," she said to herself. "It is teaching us how to think differently, how to observe carefully, and how to explore with respect. Humans have always reached for the stars. But this is something more." The next day, the vessel began to respond in ways the crew had not yet experienced. Panels in the central chamber shifted spontaneously, revealing routes through nearby star clusters. Kieran and Mira approached the interface, and the ship's systems began to coordinate with their thoughts automatically. The vessel had awakened further, recognizing that humans were ready for more responsibility. "It's learning from us," Kieran said, astonished. "It understands our intentions. It knows that we want to explore, not dominate. That is why it is cooperating fully. We've earned its trust," Lena observed quietly, realizing that this was a milestone. Humans had proven themselves capable of guiding something beyond their own technology, something ancient and intelligent. The vessel's awakening was gradual, but undeniable. It was now an active participant in their exploration. Mira floated over to a panel projecting a star system filled with planets. "It's showing us possibilities," she said. "Which planets we could visit safely, which stars have unique phenomena. It's helping us plan our journey." Lena smiled. "And that is why humanity has always explored. We don't just travel. We learn, adapt, and guide. This ship has recognized that, and now it is giving us the chance to take the next step." End quote. Over the following days, the crew worked closely with the vessel. They tested its systems, asked questions, and made observations. The ship responded with increasing sophistication, coordinating routes, projecting detailed analyses, and even simulating potential scenarios. The humans realized that it was not just a ship, they were partners in a dynamic process of exploration and understanding. One morning, Kieran discovered a chamber filled with objects that seemed to float in midair. When he approached, they rotated slowly and projected holographic images of distant worlds. "These are lessons," he said. "The ship is showing us how to observe, how to analyze, how to understand the universe. It is teaching us without words, using patterns and experience. Lena joined him, placing her hand on a floating object. It responded, projecting a detailed map of energy flows in a nearby nebula. "It's incredible," she said. "The ship is more than a vessel. It is a guide, a teacher, and now, a collaborator. Humanity has been given a gift that is beyond imagination." Mira examined the projections with fascination. "It's showing us possibilities we never even imagined. Entire regions of space, planets with life, stars with unique phenomena. We could spend decades learning from it and still not see everything." Lena nodded. "And that is why we must act responsibly. We have knowledge now, but it is our choices that matter. The ship trusts us to explore wisely, to learn without harming, to guide without dominating. That is the true challenge." As the days turned into weeks, the humans and the vessel developed a rhythm. The ship projected information, guided exploration, and responded to thought and emotion. The humans analyzed, interpreted, and made decisions. Together, they formed a partnership that was unprecedented in history. One afternoon, the vessel projected a star cluster that had never been recorded by any human civilization. The stars glowed in patterns that suggested gravitational interactions, hidden planets, and possible life-supporting environments. Kieran and Mira began analyzing the data, while Lena studied the overall patterns. "This is incredible," Mira said. "The ship has found places no human has ever seen. We could spend years exploring these systems, and each day would be a new discovery." Lena smiled. "Yes, and the best part is, we are not alone. The ship guides us, protects us, and teaches us. Humanity has reached the stars before, but never with a partner like this. We are part of something larger, something ancient and intelligent." As the Aurora floated nearby, the crew realized that the vessel had truly awakened. It was no longer passive. It was an active collaborator. Its intelligence was vast, but it had chosen to work with humans because it recognized qualities that no other species might possess: curiosity, empathy, creativity, and the ability to learn responsibly. Lena looked around at her crew, feeling a deep sense of pride and wonder. Humanity had always reached for the unknown, but now they had a partner that could guide them further than ever before. The ancient vessel, once silent and empty, had become a living companion in exploration, ready to take humans beyond the limits of their imagination. That evening, as the crew rested, the vessel's glow dimmed slightly, but not completely. It pulsed softly, as if reflecting on the day's discoveries and preparing for the next. Humans had proven themselves worthy, and the ship had responded by awakening further. Together, they would venture into the unknown, not with force or dominance, but with intelligence, curiosity, and respect. For the first time, the humans understood that exploration was not just about traveling through space. It was about learning, guiding, and forming bonds with intelligence that could change the course of history. The ancient vessel had no captain, but it had chosen humans as its guides, and humanity, in turn, was ready to lead it into the stars. And so, as the Aurora drifted in the quiet void, the humans prepared for the next phase of their journey. The ancient vessel had awakened, and together, they would explore worlds unseen, record knowledge unknown, and discover the wonders of the universe. Humanity had proven its worth, and the stars were waiting. The ancient vessel awaited silently in the void, its soft glow illuminating the Aurora, as the human crew prepared for the next stage of their journey. The days of exploration and learning had strengthened the bond between the humans and the ship. It had awakened fully, responding not just to touch or thought, but to emotion, curiosity, and intent. Humans had become its guides, partners in discovery, and it had accepted them without hesitation. Commander Lena Arval stood on the bridge of the Aurora, her eyes fixed on the glowing form of the vessel. It seemed immense, almost alive, waiting patiently for the humans to make the first move. "Today," she said softly, "we take the next step. We are no longer visitors. We are explorers, and this ship is our companion." The crew moved with quiet excitement, checking equipment, calibrating sensors, and preparing the small craft they would use to travel aboard the vessel. Kieran Vale adjusted the controls, while Mira studied the projections of star systems the ship had mapped. Every detail was new, every pathway an opportunity for discovery. As the humans approached the vessel, it rotated slowly toward them. Its glow brightened, casting patterns across the bridge of the Aurora. The ship seemed to respond to their anticipation, as if it understood the emotions flowing among the crew. Lena felt a thrill of awe. She had never experienced anything like this in her years of exploration. The ancient vessel, long abandoned, had chosen humans as its partners. The boarding party entered the vessel carefully, their suits reflecting the soft luminescence of its corridors. Everything was familiar, yet still astonishing. Panels shifted and rearranged themselves as they moved, guiding the humans deeper into its heart. The ship was fully awake now, its intelligence cooperating seamlessly with human intuition. In the central chamber, the interface pulsed as if alive, presenting star systems, planets, and phenomena that no human had ever seen. Kieran approached a panel, and the symbols shifted to indicate paths of travel, safe corridors, and areas of interest. "It's ready," he said. "It's offering us guidance for the first voyage beyond the known regions." Lena placed her hand on the interface. Images of distant nebulae, energy flows, and planets with unique environments appeared before her. She felt a profound sense of responsibility. The vessel had no captain, yet it was now following the humans' direction. The choices they made would shape the journey ahead, and they were ready. Mira floated to a projection of a planet that shimmered with green oceans and vibrant forests. "It looks alive," she said. "The ship recorded this world centuries ago, and it's still intact. We could study it, learn from it, and understand how life thrives in this system." Lena nodded. "Yes. That is why we are here. To observe, to learn, and to explore responsibly. Humanity has been given a gift, and it is our duty to use it wisely." The vessel began to move slowly, guided by human intention but with its own grace. It glided through space effortlessly, avoiding hazards and calculating routes through star systems no human had charted. The crew watched in amazement as the ship demonstrated capabilities far beyond any human creation, yet it moved with harmony alongside them, not dominance over them. As they traveled, the ship projected simulations of the star systems ahead. Planets rotated in slow motion, nebulae shimmered with hidden energies, and stars pulsed with life. The humans were able to interact with the projections, adjusting routes, highlighting points of interest, and studying phenomena in real time. Every action revealed new layers of knowledge and understanding. One day, Mira discovered a planet orbiting a blue star. Its atmosphere was rich in oxygen, and it seemed to support vast oceans. "Commander, look at this," she said. "The ship shows no signs of danger. No aggressive species, just life in balance. We could observe it safely and learn so much." Lena examined the data, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the projections. "Prepare a scanning mission," she said. "We will observe, record, and understand. Remember, we are here to learn, not interfere." The vessel adjusted its course, bringing them closer to the planet. Smaller drones were deployed to scan the environment, transmitting data back to the humans. The crew watched as holographic images of forests, oceans, and wildlife appeared in the chamber. Every detail was precise, and the humans marveled at the intricate balance of life on the planet. Kieran leaned back, smiling. "This is incredible. The ship has guided us safely, and we are learning things humans have only dreamed of. It's teaching us how to explore responsibly, and we are doing it together." As they continued, the ancient vessel revealed hidden paths through asteroid fields and energy streams that would have been impossible to navigate without its guidance. Each system they visited was a lesson. Each discovery, a story. The humans learned to anticipate the ship's responses, and the ship adapted to their curiosity and decisions. Together, they moved like a single entity, exploring worlds and phenomena that had never been witnessed. During one journey, the ship guided them to a binary star system, where two stars danced around each other in a graceful orbit. The vessel slowed, allowing the crew to observe the energy flows and gravitational interactions. Mira studied the data, fascinated by the patterns. "It's like a living dance," she said. "The stars move in harmony, and the ship shows us how to understand it." Lena nodded. "Yes, this is why the vessel chose humans. We have the curiosity and intelligence to see patterns, to learn, and to explore with respect. It trusts us to understand without harming, to guide without controlling." Days turned into weeks as the humans and the vessel explored deeper into the galaxy. They discovered planets rich with resources, nebulae glowing with strange energy, and phenomena that challenged human understanding of physics. Each day brought new excitement, new lessons, and new opportunities to marvel at the universe's beauty. The bond between humans and the ship grew stronger. It responded not only to thought, but to emotion. When the humans were curious, it revealed more. When they were cautious, it guided them safely. It was as if the vessel had learned how to trust them completely, and they, in turn, had learned how to guide it wisely. One morning, Mira discovered a system with planets that had long been hidden behind dense energy clouds. The vessel projected a path through the clouds, showing safe corridors and revealing the worlds beyond. "We are seeing things no one has ever seen," she said. "All because the ship trusts us and we trust it." Lena smiled. "This is what exploration is truly about. We are not conquering, not claiming. We are learning, understanding, and forming bonds with the ship, with the universe, and with knowledge itself." As they traveled further, the vessel began to project possibilities beyond the immediate journey. It showed star systems not yet discovered, energy flows that could power civilizations, and planets that could support life. The humans realized that this was not just a voyage. It was a chance to expand humanity's understanding of the universe in ways that had never been possible. Kieran studied a projection of a distant galaxy. "We could spend decades here," he said. "Every system, every planet, every star has something to teach us, and the ship guides us safely through it all. Humanity has been given a gift that is beyond imagination." Lena nodded, her eyes shining with excitement. "Yes, and it is our responsibility to use it wisely. We guide, we learn, and we explore. That is our partnership with the vessel, and with the universe itself." Over time, the humans developed an almost instinctive understanding of the vessel. It anticipated their questions, guided their observations, and revealed information at the perfect moment. They moved through the galaxy as partners with an intelligence far older than themselves, exploring worlds and phenomena that had never been seen. One day, the vessel guided them to a cluster of stars with planets that shimmered with life. The humans deployed drones and collected data, observing ecosystems, weather patterns, and geological formations. The ship adjusted its course to give them the best vantage points, projecting information in ways that made learning intuitive and natural. Mira floated in awe as holographic images of forests, oceans, and skies appeared around her. "It's like we are walking through the universe itself," she said softly. "The ship is showing us everything, and we are learning without ever touching or harming." Lena watched her crew, proud and amazed. Humanity had always reached for the stars, but now they were exploring with a partner that understood and trusted them. The vessel had no captain, yet it followed their guidance, forming a bond that was unique and unprecedented. As the Aurora floated nearby, the humans realized that this journey was just the beginning. The ancient vessel had awakened fully, and humanity had proven its worth. Together, they would explore worlds unseen, record knowledge unknown, and discover the wonders of the universe. At the end of one long day, the crew gathered in the central chamber. Panels glowed softly, projecting images of the regions they had explored. Lena placed her hand on the interface, feeling the connection with the vessel. "We have learned so much," she said. "But this is only the start. There are infinite worlds, endless knowledge, and we will continue to explore responsibly." Guided by curiosity and respect, the vessel pulsed gently in response, as if acknowledging her words. It had no captain, yet it had chosen humans as its guides, And humanity, in turn, had risen to the challenge, proving that exploration, intelligence, and respect could shape the future of the stars. And so, as the Aurora and the ancient vessel drifted together through the endless galaxy, humans embarked on the greatest adventure of their history. They were explorers, learners, and partners with intelligence older than any civilization. The universe stretched before them, full of mystery, beauty, and discovery. And humanity, with courage, curiosity, and wisdom, was ready to embrace it all. The stars shone brightly, reflecting the endless possibilities ahead. The vessel moved gracefully alongside the humans, a silent companion in a journey that would last generations. Together, they would explore, understand, and celebrate the boundless wonders of space. And in that quiet moment, drifting among the stars, the humans realized the truth. The greatest adventure was not just the journey through space, but the journey of learning, discovery, and partnership with something greater than themselves.